Hi, welcome to Carrie Creates Cards. I hope you're going to enjoy the card that I make today. If you do, please like and subscribe. Hi, today I'll be making a card using the Lavinia Stamps, the fairy house and these little fairy foragers. And I also have some background stamps here. So I've started with the 5x7 card base and I've cut my piece of cardstock that I'll be working on just 1/8 smaller around each side. And the distressings I'm going to be using are bundle sage, wild honey, squeezed lemon and spun sugar. So I'm just going to start on the top of the card with the squeezed lemonade and the spun sugar. And I'm going to pop down this little piece of plastic just to mask out my moon. I'm going to start with the squeezed lemonade. Just pop that down there to hold it. I'm going to ink that up and I'm just going to lightly go around the edge of the moon. Just give it a little bit of a glow. So just hitting off the edge of the plastic and onto the cardstock. When I lift it up, you'll see it just gives it a bit of a glow. So next I'm going to come across and just try to create a sky. Could be a sunset or a nice sunset. Next I'm coming in with the spun sugar. And I'm just going to, it's a light colour anyway, so I'm just going to add some of that into the mix. I don't like the way that has gone down, but that was my own fault. Might help a bit there. I don't know where this blue has came from. There must have been something on one of the brushes. So I'm lightly going to skim across the moon there as well, as though it's kind of a cloud effect. And the same with the yellow. Don't need to ink it up again. I'm just taking that stark whiteness off of the moon. It's this one that I've contaminated with a different ink. Needs to be washed. So that's my sky done. And the next thing I want to do is the foreground here. I want to put a few hills in. So I'm just going to tear this paper to create some hills. You can kind of manipulate it to go where you want. I'm going to pop that down there. And I'm coming in with the wild honey. And I'm just going to lightly do the same, come off from the the paper onto the cardstock. Just kind of pull it down. And I'm just moving the direction of the paper, and I'm going to do the same again. So just pull that down. Yep, quite happy with that. So I've just come in my stamping platform now, and I'm going to pop that into the corner. And I'm going to come in with the little fairy house. Just going to pop it down there where I'd like to have it and pick it up. Now I'm coming in with my Versafine Clair in Nochturn, and I'm going to ink my stamp up really well. I'm just going to pop that down. Just give it one more go. I think sometimes this happens because the background isn't completely dry. But that's the good thing about the stamping platform. You can go again if need be. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So the next thing I'm going to do is, well, I'll give that a wipe off with a bit of water. And I'm going to come in with these little fairy foragers. And I just want to decide where I'm going to put them. I might pop this little one just, let's see the others first. You can be flying above. They're so pretty. Just move that out of the way. I don't know if the 4 of them is going to be a bit fussy on the side of a card, but I wanted to use them all. So look, let's go with it. We'll pick them up and I'll ink them. It's my first time using 3 of them. I've used 1 before in a previous tutorial. But I was just looking forward to trying them all out. I think that they're beautiful. So that's just the Nochturn again that I've inked them up with. It's just the black Versafine Clair ink, which I find great. You get a really crisp image with the Versafine Clair, I always find. And it's a permanent ink, so even if you came in and sprayed that with water, it won't affect it. Fabulous. So I'm just going to remove this and do a bit of cleanup. So I'm just going to come back in now with my bundle sage. and my little hill mat. I can find it. Well, I can just use this one. So I'm going to come in at the base of my little fairy house there. And I just want to pop a bit of that down. Just make that a little bit darker. Oops, not holding my card. Just wanted to fill in the foreground a little bit there. So that's that. And the next thing I want to do is I want to pop a little mushroom under her. Yeah. This little mini one should do nicely. I'm just going to pop that onto a little acrylic block. And I might use different colour. Maybe the Rainforest, the Versafine Clair Rainforest. I'm just going to stamp it first on a scrap piece of paper. Yeah, that's fine. Just making sure it's going to be okay. Just get rid of that. As to not damage my project. So I'm just going to pop that down under her feet as though she's standing on the little mushroom or toadstool or whatever you'd like to refer to it as. Yeah, and that's okay because I'm going to come in with some more of them anyway for my foreground. I may as well do that now as I have it out. And I'm just going to do a bit of second generation stamping now there too. Yeah, I think that that's okay. I'm just going to come back in with that. It was the bundled sage, sorry. And I'm just getting a piece of paper, and I want to come in under some of these little mushrooms. Just to add a touch of it here and there to make it look like they're not just sitting in midair. Yeah, I think it was just that one really. Just add another bit. And I think that that's fine. So next I'm going to come in with this little, it's a Vers stamp if I can find it. Yeah, and I'm just going to pop that onto my acrylic block. Now it might be better to use the larger block for that. So that I can fit it all on. And I want to ink that up. I'm not going to use the Nochturn. I'm going to use the Monarch. As I'm just doing this side, there's no point in putting the ink the whole way across. That'll be fine. So I want to do a bit more across the top of it. It's important once you pop it down not to move it, because it'll get a bit distorted if you do. Another bit down this side now, so it's just this side that I'll need to ink up for that. I might just pop a bit more down around the edge. Don't want to go in too far, maybe come down here might be better. Yep. Just pop a little bit there. Just to touch the edge. Yeah, quite like that. So next I'm going to just ink out the edge of it like I always do to frame it. So just ink up my brush there, and I'm using the same one. It's the Versafine Clair Monarch. just to come along and touch the edge, just to frame it. As I always say, it draws your eyes into the centre. I'm really liking these colours. I think they're a nice colour combination. I like to go a bit deeper on the corners. I think it gives it a lovely effect. And then just touch it along the edge as you're going down. You kind of get that faded, the faded effects kind of coming in. Just going to deepen the corners a little bit more, just because that's how I like them. But you can have a play around, and I think everybody comes up with what they like best. I'm just coming back in with my card base now, and I'm going to pop a bit of double-sided tape on that. And I might actually use the foam tape just to make it pop up a bit. My desk is a bit of a mess today, and I'm finding it hard to find stuff. I'll have to do a clean up, I think, after this card, so I can be a bit more organised. I'll just pop a bit here and here. So just allowing that little bit of white all around the edge, just kind of gives it a nice, makes the dark purple pop. And I'm coming in with my little white pen and my little glitter pen. And I'm going to have a play around to see what I can make pop. I might zoom you in. So I'm just going to come into these little white pieces and add a bit more white. Just makes it pop that little bit more on the black background. And for this little window, I'm actually going to use a gel pen. So I found this little one, and I'm just going to pop that in there where the window is, just to make it look like maybe there's a fire inside and it's glowing. Now I'm also going to come in and just go around these parts with the white. Small little details, but I think it adds a nice little touch in the end. You stand back and you have a look, you think, yeah, that's nice. Now I could go around and dot all of these. Just do the large ones, I think. And next I'm going to come in with a little bit of glitter for the fairies' wings. But I'm going to, whoops, that doesn't matter. I'm going to go around the edge of the moon first. So I'm just going inside so that I don't reactivate the distress inks, which doesn't really matter if I do, but I want to leave it the way that it is. So next I'm just going to pop a bit on their wings. Make them a little bit more magical. And maybe just a touch on the roof of the house there as well. It is a fairy house. There's a couple of little bits here and there. Bit of sparkle is always nice. I'm just coming in with a little bit of tissue and I'm going to see if I can pick up that initial blob that happened. And I'm thinking maybe I should just add some more blobs here and there. Can you ever have too much sparkle when it comes to fairies? I don't think so. And as they say, there's no mistakes in art. Now, I think that that's enough. So that will need to dry now. So that's the finished card. I'm just going to bring it a bit closer. See if you can pick up that bit of sparkle. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, please like and subscribe. And thank you for watching.